your experience with managing your money has ever been stressful or made you feel guilty, I have one budget tip that you can use today that will help you be more mindful with your spending and reach your savings goals faster. When you're going to overspend a category, find the money first. That phrase, find the money first, I learned about a year ago from You Need a Budget teacher, Dave. And as somebody who struggles with impulse spending, thought to myself many times, I'll buy this now and I'll fix it in my budget later. That has been the key to becoming more mindful with my money, and it's given me the confidence to set really big savings goals that before I never would have thought would be possible. My big goal right now, saving for a car. Current car has lived a good life. We put a lot of money into it to keep it running, and I think we're done. So I'm not sure how much time I have left with it, but I've challenged myself to see how much I can put in the car repair replace category before the end of the year. And I know that things are going to come up. They always do. Dental bills, dishwasher malfunctions. I most definitely won't be perfect during that time. There are nights where I know I have food I could be making at home. Maybe I had a bad day or I'm not feeling it, and I think to myself, in the grand scheme of life, what's a $20 takeout charge? Even if it overspends my dining out category, no big deal. I'll figure it out later. And then in the harsh light of the next morning, I sit down to budget and I have to pull that $20 from somewhere. Maybe first I'd look at my fun money category or gaming category, but if both of those are tapped out for the month, you know where I'm gonna have to pull that money from. It is coming out of the cheap fund. And suddenly a $20 charge that the night before didn't seem like a big deal is huge, and it's frustrating. And did the food even taste that good? I should have just made what I had because it's holding me back from my goals. And that's when I learned the power of finding the money first. When I was having that internal discussion about ordering food, if I had paused, pulled out my phone to look at my budget to see where that money would come from, that would have led to a more informed decision and maybe a different decision. If I could give you one takeaway from this video, it's that finding the money first will take you from a reactive budgeter to a proactive budgeter. So when you're thinking about making a purchase that is going to overspend a category, pause before you make the purchase, because that's when you still have the power to say no. And check in with yourself and look to see where that money's coming from and make sure that that purchase lines up with your goals. I think this, especially if you're somebody who's been budgeting for a while and you need something to help push you so that you can save money faster, this could be the tool that you need. So if we're supposed to be finding this money, we need to know where to look. I have a couple rough guidelines I use for myself, so I'm gonna pull up my budget and I'll walk you through it. If I'm scrolling through my budget looking for where to pull money from, here's my thought process. Immediate obligations and subscriptions I try never to touch. Most of these are due each month and they're auto-deducted from my account. Things like HOA dues, the mortgage, internet. Electric, for example, let's see, I have $60 sitting in there right now, but I know that that bill is coming due in just a couple days. So those dollars have their job and they're sitting there ready to go. So don't want to touch that. True expenses, there's a little bit more flexibility. I don't like to pull money from auto insurance or personal property tax or BOE, but clothing, haircuts, there I have a little bit of wiggle room. And underneath quality of life goals, just for fun, this is my sweet spot. These categories are meant to bring an extra little bit of enjoyment to life, so they're perfect for having to move money around. Let's run through an example. A video game just came out. You weren't saving for it, wasn't even on your radar, but suddenly everybody's talking about it and the reviews are really good and it sounds pretty fun to play. In your gaming category, you have $25. The game is $50, so we need to find $25 extra dollars. As I'm scrolling through my budget, your eye might be drawn to my entryway bench category. To me though, I just started saving for that, so it would be disheartening to pull $25 out. I could though still have $20 left in clothing, and I don't foresee needing to buy anything else this month, so I could take $20 from there and $5 from haircuts. You do always have the option though of waiting until next month when you've budgeted $25 more into gaming, and then you could see if you still really want that game. For example number 2, let's take a look at working from home, or maybe you have kids who are distance learning now. When I started working from home, I thought, I have a desk, I have a chair, what else do I need for my makeshift office? But I learned pretty quickly my chair was not going to cut it. I needed something that was more comfy, something that could move or at least swivel. I had a change in priorities. I had been saving up for a vacation, but I pulled money out of the vacation fund to cover the chair upgrade. There was no shame in doing that. That is the beauty of our budgets. They're ours. They're your dollars to give jobs to. What's different about my YNAB budget than other budgets I've used in the past, it's not something I set on the first, and if I don't follow it perfectly every single day until the end of the month, I failed. No, it grows and changes with me. And if I have a change in priority right in the middle of the month, that's fantastic. I can update my budget to reflect that. I really think rule number 3, rolling with the punches, is what makes budgeting work in the long term. And finding the money first is adding that extra bit of intentionality to rule 3. It's having those conversations with yourself. I want to make this purchase. Is it reflecting a change in my priorities, or is this a case where I'm going to buy it now and regret it later because it's holding me back from my goals? Those conversations make all the difference, and I would love to know, is finding the money first something you're already doing? If yes, do you have a go-to category you like to pull from?